A very good evening and welcome to this evening edition of YES101's Visual Radio. Bringing you the news, I am Hashni Patirana. Let's start off with a look at your local news. In your top story this evening, US Ambassador to Sri Lanka Julie Chang said that the United States looks forward to working closely with the president elected by the Sri Lankan people. In a message on X, she emphasized that ensuring a free and fair election is the most important action that can be taken for democracy in Sri Lanka. In more local news, the US Department of State has updated its travel advisory for Sri Lanka in light of the upcoming presidential election scheduled for the 21st of September 2024. Now, this advisory highlights the increased risk of civil unrest and terrorism in the country, urging US citizens to exercise heightened caution. The US Department of State said, quote-unquote, as Sri Lanka approaches its presidential election, the possibility of demonstrations and protests is high. These events may occur before, during, or after the election day. Historical patterns show that such gatherings can quickly turn violent, with authorities previously resorting to water cannons and tear gas to manage crowds. The advisory notes a persistent threat of terrorism across various public spaces in Sri Lanka. It added, and I quote, past attacks have targeted tourist attractions, transportation hubs, markets, shopping malls, government facilities, hotels, restaurants, places of worship, and more. These incidents are often unpredictable, and can occur with little to no warning. The US Department of State also provided recommendations for travelers. They've asked the travelers to avoid gatherings and to stay informed and to exercise caution. Now, in more local stories, an assistant superintendent of police has been arrested following a road accident in Palavia, Puttalam. The incident involved a collision between the vehicle of State Minister Shehan Singha and the ASP's vehicle. Police spokesperson DIG Nihal Thalduva said that a disciplinary investigation is underway regarding the assistant superintendent's conduct. The officer is scheduled to appear before the Puttalam magistrate today. No injuries were reported in the accident.
International news.
And now shifting our focus to the international news, White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said US President Joe Biden is looking forward to discussing Ukraine's war strategy with President Volodymyr Zelensky this month, and Washington is working on a substantial new aid package. Zelensky has said he wants to represent a victory plan that could push Russia to end its war in Ukraine diplomatically to Biden and his two potential successors.
Sports news.
And finally, taking a look at your sports update, India fast bowler Mohammad Shami wants to ensure that he is fully fit before he returns to international cricket. Now, Shami, 34 years old, last played in the 2023 ODI World Cup final and has since been sidelined by an ankle injury, for which he underwent surgery earlier this year. Shami also hinted at the possibility of playing domestic cricket before making his international return. And with that, we wrap up this edition of YES101's Visual Radio. I'm Hashni Patirana. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more of the very latest.